Hello, everyone. Thank you so very much for joining us. I'm so glad that you could find time to join us in this episode. My name is Dooso Radido, and I'm so honored to host this conversation today. This is the Intentionality Matters podcast. And this is a conversation that we've been preparing for a very long time now. And now that the time has come, we are glad that we are getting it done. Joining me on set today is one very resourceful, very forward-thinking, very impactful, and very reliable leader that is going to help me put to context some of the things that we're going to be discussing today. I'm talking about none other than Rebecca Mlawasi. Hi, Rebecca.
Hi, how are you?
I'm so good.
Thank you.
So good to have you here today.
Glad to be here.
Now, before we even go very far into it,
Yes.
did somebody tell you look nice today?
Thank you very much. Thank you.
So you can give us a brief about who you are and what makes you stand out.
Mhm.
Then we can just jump into the discussion of the day.
Okay.
Yes.
Thank you very much, Mr. Dooso.
Yes.
My name is Rebecca Mlawasi. I'm a seasoned communications and PR professional. But beyond that, the reason why we are here today, I'm also a co-author of the book, Why Intentionality Matters. And really one thing that stands out for me is the fact that I'm careful and keen on not just the word intentionality, but living each and every day with intent of making it better, making not just my life better, but even making the world a better place for each and everyone I get to interact with. Yes.
Wow.
So thank you very much for this great opportunity to have this conversation and to see to what extent are we going to leverage the word intentionality to make not just the world a better place, but to see how best can we impact lives of people who are also thinking, what is intentionality? Yes.
Thank you so very much.
Thank you.
I like it that you're saying that you're a keen person, and that makes it very fitting to speak to you, because intentionality in itself has a lot of keenness that goes into things either beforehand, during, and even after.
Yes.
And to add on to that, you're showing up in the conversation as an author. That means there's plenty in you that you're already pouring out and using to impact people, even through books.
Yes.
I took some time to read through what you have written in that book, Why Intentionality Matters.
Yes.
And the opening statement that you have used in your writing, in your chapter, really caught my attention. And you're saying intentionality changes wandering into swimming.
Yes.
What was the thinking behind that?
The thinking behind that very small quote is the fact that we tend to, intentionality is about purpose. It's about not just, as opposed to the fact that I wake up in the morning and I know I'm headed to work. I'm thinking beyond, I'm thinking there's how I need to do things for me to get to where I want to be. So when you wander around, you get to, you're not doing anything. They say don't mistake movement to, purpose. You're just moving, but you're not moving intentionally. So if you wander around, then you're not making any movement. But then swimming means you're jumping into the water and you have to beat the water for you to get to the next level. Because swimming from one point to another, that means you have to make an intentional step to move forward. Yes. But wandering means then you are all over the place. Yes.
You're dotting all over the place.
You're dotting all over.
I look at intentionality as the ability to constantly have a will. You see the will, like not the.
Where there's a will, there's a way.
Yes. Constantly being on will.
Yes.
And recently, I was listening to a podcast, and somebody talked about something that I've never thought about. Very powerful. He was talking about getting to a place where you're also saying, "Let my will be done." So intentionality is willing or declaring, "Let my will be done." This is what I want. This is what I desire. and then you trigger things into motion, and then you get your will
Yes.
being done.
Yes.
You have mentioned purpose, and purpose is a big word, really. And the way it appears to me, it to me looks like purpose is not possible where intentionality is not happening.
Yes. It's like a key driver to you getting to, to become intentional. You have to purpose that today I need to achieve this for me to be able, because like in a week is spread out in 5 days.
That's right.
So in those 5 days, what steps are you taking? Because you're not going to recover that time. So those 5 days, what are you doing differently to be able to pour into your 365 days of the year?
Yes.
So that at least you achieve something, because you lose a day, then you have lost almost, you've lost a lifetime, because it might look like very little time, but there's something you'd have done in an hour's time that can change everything.
Yes.
It can change the whole aspect of your life. So I think it's that purpose that we put in ourselves and tell ourselves, let me do this today, then tomorrow I do the same thing better. So you're constantly on that, that loop of making it better. That for me is purpose.
Wow.
Yes.
I like what you've just said. What I'm thinking about from what you've just said is that it's possible to use intentionality as a way of achieving purpose.
Absolutely.
So that
and the other way around also. So purpose drives intentionality, but also you have to be intentional in what you purpose to do.
Yes.
I know it might sound like a tongue twister, but then it's more or less.
It makes sense.
It's like they carry each other.
Yes.
One has to drive the other. Yes.
By the time you are purposeful,
yes,
you are actually headed in the direction of intentionality, or you're actually being intentional.
Yes. Yes.
And by the time you're being intentional, you are actually creating purpose or realizing your purpose.
Exactly.
Wow.
Which then I think drives to impact.
That's right.
Yes.
A lot of times purpose, the result of purpose is impact or fulfillment of a calling or an assignment or whatever you had dreamed or envisioned to achieve.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
When you talk about 365 days and 5 days a week, etc., I see an opportunity of, using intentionality as a way of approaching the day, using the day, and closing the day.
Yes.
Because a lot of us would casually open the day, casually spend the day, and then casually close the day. So that if you ask somebody, 2026 is an opportunity, it's a block of time. But January has happened and February is now closing down.
Yes. Yes.
What has happened in your life, or what has happened in your space within that period of time?
In most times, many people will actually not have anything to write home about.
Yes.
Why? Because in the beginning, I remember back in the day, I don't know about many people, but we used to have New Year's resolution.
Yes.
But life has driven us to a certain trajectory where we are constantly thinking change is coming. We need to embrace change. So in as much as you make plans for the 365 days, you're also thinking, how am I adapting to the changes that are coming along? So even with that, even as you make those intentional steps to making those days better, or even purpose to becoming a very productive day, create some space for that change. Yes.
Do you know that many of us actually, use January running away from January?
True.
Because we don't like this block of time called January, because it comes with its own challenges and hardships. So people spend January looking forward to the day January will come to an end for reasons that I don't understand. What is your experience with January?
And actually, the thing is, January has been there since time immemorial.
And it's actually the first of months.
Absolutely.
It's the firstborn of months in a year.
Exactly. And we've had January for the longest years. But people have made it such a common thing that every January we have to struggle to kick the 70 days of the month. You know, they call it, it's like a double month.
Yes.
Because you're paid on the 25th and you're expecting another salary on the 30th of the other month. But then this is how I look at it, because we have plans for each and every month. So what makes it so different for us to not think of January as any other month, as opposed to the fact that come December, we just need to plan earlier, but January still stands as the normal month. It's just a mind shift. I think it's a mind shift that people need to have from the common thoughts. And I think with time, people are slowly gravitating to the fact that life is changing. The economy might not be what we always hoped or thought it would be. But again, how do we adjust? How do we adjust and live in, purpose also steps in this case, because you have to think of it in terms of what am I doing to try and change this narrative that January is a hopeless month because everybody's rushing. We don't have enough money to drive us through the month, because January will always be. January will always be. In my own opinion, my January I've had to look at it in a different way. So for me now, it's become shorter. It's become a shorter January because I've had to adjust my mind to thinking this month is going to be with us the whole time.
Yes.
So then how do I accustom myself to the fact that this will happen in December, this will happen in January? So with that thought in mind, then it makes you become a bit more relaxed and think of it and see it as a normal month.
That's right.
Yes.
It is possible to make January count because January is a block of time like any other month of the year.
Yeah, it is.
And January is a beautiful opportunity to start something,
exactly,
finish something, improve something. And I like what you just said about having plans for January. And I think if there are things that we should do other than having a mental shift in terms of how we look at the month, there is need for us to begin to have very serious plans for January.
Absolutely.
Because what makes December feel different is the plans we have for December.
The pomp and color for the festivities.
Yes.
And we are constantly
and we invest ourselves so highly in December. If you look at the movement of money in December and the attention December draws from us, compare that to what January does.
Yeah.
I agree with you that many of us do not have plans for January. But you see, January has also a way of beating people into plans. A lot of prayer and fasting happens in January.
Because let me ask you, Mr. Dooso, when do you go on holiday? Do you go on holiday in December or do you go in January?
It's December.
You see now, we all have, it's like 8 to 5. So 8 to 5, we are all chasing the clock in the morning to get to work. So there's traffic.
Yes.
So we complain when there's traffic, but we are also rushing at the same time. At 5, same thing. So at December, everybody's rushing to go on holiday. It's expensive. So what you'd have saved a bit to use in January, you use it in December.
Yeah.
So you see, even for you, you'd go on holiday in December. Yeah, which is, it's a mindset, I think.
Yeah, of course. And what you've said about pay and January. January feels flat and boring because it looks like it takes longer for that pay to arrive now that it arrives earlier, and makes December juicy because, hey, look at it. The money has arrived early. We are enjoying it early. Yeah. But then that makes January to feel dry. But I know of people who do their holidays in January because their peak season is in December, so they don't get the time in December to do holidays. So they make the money in December, and then in January, when things are calm, when nobody is there to compete with you for spaces, because in January
prices are slashed.
Yes. Everybody is accommodating you at very discounted prices.
Very true.
So January becomes easy for them. But as you have said, if we intentionally put plans for January, intentionally trigger productivity in January, intentionally trigger growth, or just something beautiful, we can actually change January from being this long, boring, punishing month into something. And we can change ourselves from spending January running away from January and looking forward to February and above. You know?
Very true.
Yes.
Very true.
You also talked about resolutions. Now, I have a story, my personal story with resolutions, and I also have been observant to see how other people are dealing with their own resolutions. And every time people talk about resolutions, people giggle and laugh.
Yes.
Because we know what happens when those things happen. A few years ago, I came to realize that there are some people who are actually chasing resolutions for like 5-10 years ago.
Yes.
Now. So I stopped to ask myself, so these things I am chasing, which year did they appear to me first, or which year do they belong to? You see, for example, you say to yourself in 2018, I'll build a house. And this I'll build a house never happened in 2018, never happened in 2019, never happened in 2020, never happened in 2021. And now in 2026, you still find yourself chasing the 2018 resolution. So that if you look at people, and I believe everybody's chasing something, there are some people whose chase is for dreams that appeared to them like 10, 20 years ago.
Yes, very true.
They have never achieved it for one reason or the other. And I'm not saying that if you don't achieve, you're not doing well or you're a failure. But it becomes part of the burden you have to carry. Because maybe God will add on to your list a dream for 2026.
Yes.
So if you're to clear the tray, when are you going to realize the 2026 dream? But as it is, resolutions, when you properly look at them, they translate into goals.
True.
And those goals translate into action plans that would call for you to take responsibility and now engage. If your resolutions are beautifully painted, but there is no point at which you are engaging, then you know that those are just going to be stories to be told.
Absolutely.
And at the point where you're engaging, that is when now you summon intentionality. But I know you can summon it at the point of saying, this year I am dreaming of. I don't know what you think about that.
Yeah, we have dreams and we have resolutions are good because I look at it as something that will constantly, push you to becoming better or working towards it.
Yes.
And one thing I'm keen on telling people is set a goal or a resolution that's achievable.
Yes.
Because at times it's good to think out of the box. But then at times you set something, you know very well this is not something I might end up achieving.
Yes.
As soon as I thought I would, it would mean me overstretching myself. But then set I'd call them goals. Set goals that you can slowly gravitate towards achieving as you hit, the main mark.
Yes.
Because we get stressed or frustrated when these things don't come our way.
You're right.
But then if we set small, it's like, when you have a ladder which has smaller steps and bigger steps. So the smaller steps then guide you slowly into getting to the top. But the bigger steps then overstretch you in that I need to put in more work, more effort for me to get there, because I need to put one foot here with my hand up, hang a bit, then throw my leg up. There's so much work that goes into it. But those small steps then advise into you getting there fast. It might not be faster, but then it might be easier. Because one step to the other,
That's
the
right.
space is the gap is a bit smaller.
Smaller.
So then in setting those very achievable goals, because you realize even in between, you might actually be able to achieve something which was not in your list.
That's right.
Why? Because you're putting in the small efforts that you needed to put in to get there.
That's right.
Yeah. So I look at it in terms of you being able to put in the work regardless. Wake up in the morning, do something different. Do something different every day. Do something different, then reflect upon it and ask yourself, now that I put in this work, what difference did it make? What can I do tomorrow that can make what I did yesterday better? And
That's
it goes, it goes into anything, being kind, just adding a different skill into your
That's right.
list of things to do, or maybe having a task that was randomly not assigned, but then do it and just get feedback from people.
Yes.
And through it, you notice I am making, those small steps. Tomorrow, maybe even that owning a home might not be something that's going to be hard for you.
That's right.
Yeah.
This is what I came to learn about resolution.
Yeah.
First, you have to have a dream.
Yeah.
Or this desire that you have for something that you want to realize. And then when you have been enticed by it and inspired by it,
yes,
it comes to a place where you begin to feel a sense of commitment to make it happen.
Yes.
At the point where you feel this sense of commitment to make it happen, that is where you draw your resolution, because resolution comes from the word resolve.
Yes.
Resolve means I have determined, I have committed to get this thing done. So by the time you're calling it a resolution, it is actually saying, this is my commitment. You see?
True.
Like yesterday, you resolved that you would be in this conversation today.
Yes. Yeah, absolutely.
So at the point where you said, I have committed, I'm blocking the time, I'm blocking the finances, I am putting aside any other conversation because I am going to avail myself in the conversation.
Yes.
That becomes a resolution. So by the time it is a resolution, it is a non-negotiable thing. It is going to happen.
Yes.
It is like saying, my will be done.
Yes.
My will be done.
Yes.
So you get it there. So many people falter at the point of calling dreams, desires, resolution.
Yeah.
So you paint a beautiful picture of this dream you have, and then you erroneously call it a resolution. Don't call it a resolution yet until you have summoned your commitment, you have summoned your capabilities, you have summoned your resources, or anything that you have committed that I will move things around until I get this thing done. So that resolutions are things that are headed in the direction of results.
Absolutely.
At the end of the year, you should say, I resolved this, I delivered this. It's even better for you to have like 50% results, but it's a demonstration of the activation you did towards realizing the resolutions, the commitment that you did.
That's very true. Because I also think at times, have the dream. Dream is fine. Have the dream, then work backwards.
Yes.
Work backwards in the resolve. You see the resolve you talk about?
Yes.
See what resolves am I, putting in to get to that dream.
Yes.
I think it becomes easy than you seated there, you're constantly looking directly to the dream, but you're not looking at the journey to that dream.
Yes.
Yeah.
And when you talk about the steps, it's possible to break down a big dream into chewable steps.
Absolutely.
For example,
yes.
I have a dream of a house. 2026, I'm laying the foundation.
Yes.
In 2027, I'm doing the walls. In 2028, I'm thinking about roofing.
Yes.
2029, I'm finishing up the house and I'm going into it.
And a lot of people have done it.
That is how it goes.
Yes.
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 So small steps that are chewable and doable.
Yeah.
Rather than resolving around the fantasy of, I'm seeing myself in the house already.
Yeah, you want a car, go for classes.
Yes,
Have
at
the
least our
driving
driver's
license. I
license.
know,
Some
because
kind of experience on the road.
I know, because we are constantly thinking, I'm thinking I need a car, but then you do not even have the
A
driver's license.
license, yeah.
So you're thinking, it's good to think broad, but then you have to first put in the work, start from somewhere,
That's
then
right.
you'll get there.
That's right. When I was younger, my bishop actually, I consider him one of the people who triggered me into productivity and intentionality.
Oh, wow, yeah.
He told us, if you are ever dreaming to have a car in future, go and get a driver's license now.
Yes.
You're not buying a car.
But
you're just getting a driver's license.
Keep it.
Yes, keep it and renew it every year. If it expires, renew. The same thing, if you ever dream of traveling the world, get yourself a passport.
Yeah, absolutely.
So we owned passports and driver's licenses earlier. Like for me, between my driver's license and my car was about 10 years.
Oh, wow.
So I owned a driver's license for 10 good years.
Wow.
Actually, I even at some point forgot how to drive.
So you had to go for
I had to do refresher. So the other thing my bishop told us is, once you get that driver's license, begin to exercise ownership by being a steward of other people's cars. If you find somebody has parked a car there, ask them, can I wash this car for you? So we washed people's cars. We would park cars for people. We would borrow cars to drive a bit. He would say, borrow somebody's car, fuel it, so that you can feel what it feels
to own
a car and fuel it. Take somebody's car for service.
Yes.
Use another person's property to learn how to steward your own. So when your car comes, you will know what it means to fuel a car. Take it for service. Park it. So when I got to a place, and I did all that, by the way.
Yeah.
I would borrow cars from even my elder brother's car. I borrowed it, I fueled it, and I took it back with fuel. So one of the things my bishop told me is, if you borrow somebody's car, take it back with fuel.
Yeah, that I'd be very willing to give you my car every time.
So he said, you will learn the discipline of owning a car, because owning a car is very expensive.
It is.
It can actually kill you with depression.
Yeah.
Or if you're a bad behaving person, you can kill yourself on the road.
Absolutely.
Because the excitement of it, the experimentation that some people want to do with cars, etc.
Yeah.
So he did all that. So by the time I was getting to own my car, I knew what it means to own a car. There is this fueling that you do, this servicing that you do, this insurance. Most people don't talk about those things.
Exactly.
You buy a car, then you realize that, hey, I'm supposed to pay.
I buy a car, then it's moving.
Yes.
We are on the road, we move from point A.
It will never break down. It will always remain new.
That's the thing.
Yeah.
Those are things people don't think about.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
That's so good.
That was good.
Good advice. And I really thank him for that. Now, if you're listening to this conversation today, I'm having a chat with Rebecca Mlawasi, and I know you're loving the conversation right now. I'm actually learning plenty of things from the insights that she shared with us. And this is a conversation around using intentionality as a strategy. So we're just beginning to explore, how do you use this as a strategy to, approach your day, approach your year, approach your goals, etc., etc. Now, you have, I picked some insights from your book, and I just wrote down some few pointers here that I'm going to be using to engage with you in the questions that we are doing today.
Okay.
You are talking about intentionality as thinking carefully about what you want before you act. Now, you're placing thought, and not just thought, careful thinking.
Yes. Before
acting. And then you're saying, you're not just reacting to things, which is the story of so many people in life today, but you are acting based on clarity and based on proper reason behind your actions. Now, I want you to expound on that, because I think when it comes to intentionality,
yes,
one of the things that must happen, and happen well, is proper thinking, because this thinking is what puts reason, is what puts clarity, and is what connects the actions with the bigger picture.
True. I think the thought behind it was we are very reactive human beings. I think it's a natural thing. We are constantly reactive. Something happens, you're quick to react. But life has taught me in a way that you do not have to react to everything that happens.
Yes.
And your approach to things should not be a reactive way of approaching things. Why do I say this? In the times, we walk into situations where they call for us to react. They call for an immediate reaction. But they say, and it's one thing my mom constantly keeps telling me, silence is gold, speech is silver, silence is gold.
I agree with that.
Sometimes you want to say something, but something holds you back. I don't just call it wisdom, but I call it clarity.
That's right.
Because you tend to see that, and I blog a lot about this specific kind of intentionality, because here you are, something has happened.
Yes.
But your first reflex is, I need to say something, or I need to, even hitting somebody. And we've seen people regret their actions, and somebody will be asked later and they'll say, I wish I didn't do what I did. Why? Because you did not make a calculated step to ask yourself, what then does this result to?
Yes.
Let me give you an example. Today you say you in your space, you have somebody you're working with, and something happens. And it becomes a confrontational conversation, but then you choose to step away. When you are the one that steps away, you sit later and you have you feel nothing. You feel there's no remorse, there's nothing, because you chose to be the bigger person and step away.
Yes.
But then this very reactive person will still sit and ask themselves, how would I have handled it better? So I advise people, instead of you reacting in the moment, replay all those thoughts in your mind, then ask yourself, if this goes south, what are some of the end results? You might not look like the bigger person when you're the quiet one.
That's right.
But in the end, you win. You win a confrontation just by being quiet. And that is wisdom for me. So in being intentional, at times, even opportunities that are availed to us, there are times, some of these opportunities, once it's placed on your hands, don't react immediately. Sit back, strategize, and ask yourself, what are the 3 approaches that I have to achieving this task or this goal? So by doing that, you've given yourself enough time to, 1, strategize, 2, to think of, better ways of doing it beyond what has already been done. Then later, even your output becomes way better than what you had not only envisioned, but even the person who had, given you that task. Maybe they might think this is the way they're gonna do it. But look, research and see what other ways can I make it better. Yeah. So I look at it from that point. And for me, it has worked for me, not just on a career level, but even in the family setup and even relationships that I have out here.
Yes.
I'm very keen to first analyze the situation before I react. It really helps you live very intentional. Yes.
Oh, that's so powerful. There's a powerful line from the scriptures that says, as a man thinketh, so is he.
Yes.
There's a gentleman called Les Brown. He's a global, world-renowned motivational speaker. Yeah. He adds something onto it and he says, and as he continues to think, so shall he be. I came to learn a very powerful lesson about thinking that says thinking is creating.
Yeah.
If you look at how God approached creation, there was a forethought to it. Everything that came into creation was summoned from the thoughts of God. You would see it clearly in the creation of man. When God says, let us now create man in our own image and likeness. He was verbalizing his thoughts.
Yes.
And then he went all the way to even prescribe what this man would look like and what this man would be. What would be the purpose, the functions of the man.
Yes.
When he was about to create a woman, he looked and said, it's not good for a man to be alone. Let us now make somebody who is going to be his helpmeet.
Yes.
So he verbalized his thoughts, and by way of thinking things, he created things.
Yes.
So all we are seeing around us today, before we look at the works of men or the things that men have done, those are products of the creative force of God's thinking.
Absolutely.
Now, if you come into our world, you know for sure that everything we are seeing today is a product of thought. The way I look today comes from the way I thought about how I should look today.
Yeah.
I wanted this tie. I wanted this coat. I wanted this shirt. And I wanted this look. Even you, when you started thinking about today, I know you went somewhere and you said, this dress, this kind of makeup, this is how I'm going to be, etc., etc. So that today we are serving the audience, the people who are watching this conversation today, a product of thought, including the things we are saying.
Absolutely.
We thought about what we wanted to say and how we will say it and how we are approaching it. So that if you put all this in the context of intentionality, people who think ahead, people who think globally, that means you're giving it a big picture thinking.
Yes.
And then people who think systematically, that means you're applying what I would call executive thinking, so that you're seeing, how does this connect with this? How does this produce this? If I touch this button, that red light will come on. And if I touch this other one, this green button will come on. If you summon all these styles of thinking, and then now you subject them into intentionality, the results that will come out will blow your mind. And that is what saves us from reactive living.
And actually, I like what you say. Maybe correct me if I'm wrong. There's a verse in the Bible that says, do not conform to the world.
Yes.
You know, I relate it with the thinking now.
That's right.
Because I'm thinking, you already have a set way of how you think.
That's right.
So being reactive now comes and triggers that thing and tells you what you're thinking is not right. Do this.
Yes.
But then how then do we go back and try to re-engineer ourselves not to think of those reflexes, not those instant thoughts of I need to react to this. But I think that's also another thing we really need to think about.
That's right.
How then do we re-engineer ourselves? So maybe I don't know, maybe what your thoughts would be in trying to re-engineer ourselves, not to have those reflex thoughts.
Yeah. So what I would say is this, reactivity is a demonstration of incompetence. You're incompetent at forethought.
Yes.
Because forethought is a competence, actually, if you do not have it.
It is.
You are incompetent at forethought.
Yeah.
You are incompetent at deep thinking.
Yes.
You are incompetent at systematic thinking, focused thinking, and intentional thinking.
Yeah.
Now, there is something called intentional thinking. And there is this big thing called intentionality. Intentionality rides on intentional thinking, intentional planning, intentional doing, etc., etc. So that at the very base, when you know nothing, are trained in nothing, it's okay for you to react.
Oh, yes.
Because reacting means I have been caught off guard. And now I have to respond. And in fact, it's even worse if you respond primitively. If you respond intelligently, we don't actually call that reacting.
We excuse you.
No, we call that intelligent responding. You see?
Oh, intelligent responding.
You see?
Okay.
It's like you are walking on a sidewalk. And then there is this vehicle that has veered off.
Yeah.
walking on a sidewalk is okay. By law, you are supposed to be there, and it's supposed to be safe. But there's a vehicle that has veered off. Now you see that the vehicle is coming this way, and is going to knock you. So intelligently, you jump in the direction of safety. That is reacting to the moment, but applying intelligence. So that now your response to that becomes a saving response. So that reaction becomes bad if you are doing it from a point of incompetence. You didn't build these capabilities. You didn't apply forethought. You didn't apply prior, planning or, summoning your intelligence beforehand.
Yes.
And if it goes well, all these things you're doing beforehand should trigger you in a particular direction before that action is triggered that you should be responding to. You see, for example, end of every month, we pay rent. For those of us who are still doing it. Intentionality means that before the end of the month comes, I'm already beginning to set aside money for the paying of the rent. And people who are intensely intentional would actually pay that rent before the end of the month has come.
Yeah, true.
But there are some people who will not think about rent, will not put aside some money for rent, do nothing at all until the owner of the house comes, locks the door or kicks them out. Then they begin to react, making frantic calls all over the place. So, you know what, my house, I've been thrown out of the house, etc., etc. Now that is bad reaction. That is bad reaction. And as we have correctly said, it comes from a particular place of thinking, analyzing, and doing things. And if it finds you incompetent, then you have no capability for those kind of things. So you can't think it.
True.
You can't see it in your mind that end of month I'll be required to pay. You have to be knocked.
You only see it from your point of view.
Yes.
It's like you're pulling your own weight. So you're not looking at it from somebody else's lens. But do you think it's selfish?
No, I think it's lack of awareness. Do you know there are people you have to knock? It's like it's like being awake.
Yes.
Somebody has to knock you to gain consciousness.
I know.
So before they knock you, you are dead asleep. You are not aware of danger or anything. But if I knock you, you then gain awareness. But there are some people who sleep, but they are aware. There's somebody in this house, yet they are asleep.
But they can hear everything.
Yes, they can. So that reaction is for those people who, for one reason or the other, they are in a state of lack of awareness. Something has to happen to trigger their response. They wouldn't do this until they have been triggered by something that is threatening their life. Now, let's talk about re-engineering. I think re-engineering begins by transformation, which draws from the line you said, be transformed by the renewal of your mind. So that transformation is a product of reprogramming. That means you are beginning to install certain softwares in your mind that can at first begin to create awareness.
But then you have to be, you have to have the intention that I want to be different. I want to transform to being different.
Yes. So if you're doing it out of intention or out of intentionality, you are triggering the process yourself. You see the need, you have the desire, you expose yourself to the reprogramming, and then it happens. But life, there's a Swahili saying that says, asiyefunzwa na mamaye hufunzwa na ulimwengu. So those people who have refused to apply intentionality out of their own volition, life has a way of knocking you into learning.
Very true.
Like the way I came to know about fire and the fact that it burns. I touched fire when I was a little kid.
That's an learned
that was enough lesson for me, and I'm using that lesson up to now. You will never find me touching fire again, because life taught me a very powerful lesson. When my mom was telling me, shh, that thing will burn you, I never understood what she was saying. One day, without her watching, I sneaked my hand into the flame and I touched it.
Yeah, to see why does she keep telling me not
So,
to
so in that instance, Ulimwengu taught me a powerful lesson that I'm using up to now. So if you're intentional, you can expose yourself to a re-engineering and a reprogramming environment. That could be conversations like this conversation is a powerful reprogramming thing.
True.
Or books, or trainings, or just exposing yourself to experiences that would knock you out of your slumber. Like you see, people who travel a lot, usually they are more aware and more intelligent because they have exposed themselves to environments that taught
different
them
environments,
how to deal with different cultures, different people, etc., etc. Beyond awareness, you have to come to a place where you are trying to routinize the lessons that you have learned, to a place where you have built a skill. And later on, a discipline. But by the time it is showing up as a skill, a discipline, an awareness, you know, you have been reprogrammed.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
You have been reprogrammed.
Okay.
Well, if you're listening to this conversation and you're loving it, today I'm talking to Rebecca Mlawasi, and we're looking at intentionality as a strategy to make life happen, to make work happen, to make all the things that we desire to see in our lives happening. We're going to be taking a short break, and then we'll be back in a moment. My name is Dooso Radido, and this is the Intentionality Matters podcast.
And I'm Rebecca Mlawasi. Thank you so very much for joining us.
Thank you.